Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, I said in a video I uploaded earlier today that I was kind of wrapping up this Dramageddon series when we've been going back and revisiting everything. But out of fear of my safety and the fact that the muckers will show up at my house with pitchforks, I'm going to continue with a couple other things because people have been begging me to do the Shane and Jeffree apologies that came in the wake of everything going down in 2020. So we're now talking about Tati Westbrook breaking my silence. We're talking about James Charles as being liked again in the media. We're talking about Shane and Jeffree's careers are in a free fall. Everything is going bad for them. And it was definitely a time on YouTube. Now, I think there also is something to say about drama on YouTube, specifically in 2020, was really crazy. And I thought about this often. And I think the reason for that was, and I'm not even just exclusively saying about Shane and Jeffree here, but I think we were all forced to stay in our homes. And there was a lot of drama that went on that maybe we wouldn't talk about. No, I'm not talking about Shane and Jeffree. I'm talking about in general. There was a lot of drama within the drama space that wouldn't get picked up normally, but I think it got picked up because we were all bored as hell in home. So everything was being talked about. Again, I'm not talking about Shane and Jeffree scandals here, but I'm just talking about very loosely on the entire, because 2020 was crazy. I was going back and watching some of my videos, and I mean, it was all the time. Anyways, so today we're going to do Shane Dawson's Taking Accountability video, which is the only video other than No More Lies that is still on the YouTube channel of the original creator. Tati has deleted all her videos. Jeffree has deleted all his videos. James has deleted one of his videos. Shane is the only one that has posted the video and kept it up. And if anything, I appreciate that, even though this video is a disaster and Shane Dawson is ultimately having to make this video because of really bad behavior and really bad videos and all the rest. I appreciate that at least he doubled down on his word by not deleting it. That is the bare minimum, by the way, but I'm so used to everyone else deleting their videos and saying that, I'm going to change, and then you delete the video. I'm not saying Shane changed, he hasn't, but I actually don't keep up with Shane that much, I can't speak on that, but I would hope he has changed. There's something really crazy about the fact that there's only 2 videos out of all of the ones that we've watched that are still on these creators. It blows my mind. Anyways, another reminder about my P.O. box. I have them right here. Not my P.O. box. I have these little signed art cards right here that I'm going to be sending out to everyone, every single person that writes to the P.O. box. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, as long as you give me an address. I'm going to do a little letter in the back, and then that's going to go out to you. I started sending them off today, which is really exciting. So thank you so much to everyone who already has sent things to the P.O. box, even though it's literally only been open a week. I went today and they were like, when did you announce it? Because things arrived quite quickly. So anyways, I'm going to be sending them all off to anyone that is in the P.O. box. So this is the address right here. I love this photo of Jeffree and Tati. Yes. And also, I haven't reminded you in a while, but I have on Instagram a Finsta, which if you don't know what it is, it's like a private Instagram account that I have with the muckers, and it's basically where I post everything on there, relating to videos, not relating to videos. It's McIntyre's Dump. You have to go, and I'll accept your request. After I post this video for the next couple hours, before I go to bed, I'll accept people. So go over quickly if you're watching this video within the first maybe day or so. I'll be accepting more people on there. Anyways, let's get to this damn video. So again, this is the only one that is still on the platform, which is crazy. It's called Taking Accountability. God, they all love those kind of titles, don't they? And it has 22 million views. Now, Shane had to make this video because the Smith family, Jada Smith, had spoken up against a really inappropriate video he had made about a then 13-year-old Willow Smith, and the mainstream media were talking about Shane. Everything from James Charles was coming up, all of Shane's old behavior. A lot of videos with his ex-girlfriend Lisa came up. She ended up having to do an apology videos with Joey Graceffa. He ended up having to speak out. Basically, one by one, everyone was talking about. I remember Rebecca Black, who I love Rebecca Black. I love her music. She actually performed in London today, and I couldn't go. But basically, everyone one by one was talking about Shane and denouncing him in some way. So this video was needing to be made, and this also was before, I think this was before. Again, everyone has deleted their videos, so it's hard for me to look at the timeline. I think this video is before he did the Instagram live stream, if you know what I'm talking about. You were fake crying. You were fake crying. So that one. Anyway, let's get to this video.
Hi. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know that I have done a lot of things in my past that I hate.
Oh my god, this camera angle is so close. This is so intimate. I feel like an intimate screening. Also, he's just getting right into it, isn't he?
That I wish I could make go away, that I try to make go away by deleting videos or untagging my Instagram things or literally doing whatever I can to pretend like those things didn't happen. Because yes, I apologize for a lot of them, but I'm 31, almost 32. Those apologies suck. I don't know who that person is anymore. Every apology video...
If you watch my videos, you already know what I'm going to say. This is one of the things that bothers me so much about any creator when they're in a scandal. When a creator says, I don't recognize that person, that wasn't me, that's a different... Bitch! It is such a cop-out. It is such a cop-out to be in a scandal for something you did a couple years ago and you go, well, that wasn't me, that was an old version of me. Bitch! That nothing pisses me off more.
Video I've ever made has been from fear. It's me sitting at home.
This was also a really bad statement. He opens this video with saying that any apology video he has ever made has been out of fear. So he opens this apology video, which he made during the biggest downfall of his career, and says every other apology has been out of fear, which automatically tells you that this apology is also out of fear, so he doesn't mean it the same way he doesn't mean the other ones. This was not a really good statement to include. I'm going to be honest, I don't know why he opened with this.
Thinking the whole world hates me, and crying and hyperventilating, and then just turning on a webcam and just saying I'm sorry, and then...
I mean, he didn't turn on a webcam this time. He turned on that Canon DSLR camera, and there's a difference.
Good person, and then it'll go away. And that is stupid. That is something that a child does, not something that a 31-year-old man does. That's not good. Right now is very much a time of wanting people to be accountable, wanting punishment for people, and I agree. And that's why I'm making this video. I saw Jenna Marbles' video, and it really inspired me.
Ooh, I forgot about this. I forgot he did this. I knew it was coming as well. I knew it was coming. I just didn't realize it was so soon. Ooh, let me take myself down a little bit because I'm filming this at 11 p.m. and I don't want my neighbors to give me a noise complaint. Ooh. This bothered me so much when he posted this video, and it bothers me even more to this day. He literally is saying that he's making this video because he saw Jenna Marbles. I can hear my neighbors moving about. I may have alerted them. He literally said he made this video because he saw Jenna Marbles doing a video taking accountability. If there's one creator that I have loved since a child, that I still love to this day, not many, some of them, is Jenna Marbles. That woman to me can do no wrong. I love Jenna and Julian so much, and I'm like, I just need to articulate my thoughts here because I actually get pissed off at it. I get pissed off at it. And the reason I get pissed off at it is because people say that Jenna Marbles got cancelled. And they used to use it as a thing against commentary and drama channels and journalists that you made her leave the internet. You cancelled her. I am a huge, to this day, Jenna Marbles fan. Huge Jenna Marbles fan. Jenna Marbles did not get cancelled. Jenna Marbles, as a fan, very clearly was over YouTube and didn't want to do it anymore. It's very obvious in her last couple videos, even in the last year of uploading videos, that she didn't really care anymore, that she didn't want to be a part of YouTube anymore. Jenna Marbles saw that in 2020, a lot of people were being called out for behavior. And what did she do? She made her final video, which is now deleted. She made her final video. She deleted it because she said that she didn't want that to be her last video, but she wanted the message to get out there, which I can understand. She made her last video on the platform, a video where she details things that she did on the platform that she doesn't agree with anymore, and she apologized for them. No one asked Jenna Marbles to do that. No one was going through Jenna Marbles' deleted videos the way they were with Shane or Jeffrey or anything like that. Jenna Marbles went out of her way to show us those problematic videos that she had made and apologized for them. And that's the difference. That's the difference. I do believe she used it as a way to leave the platform because she was like, oh, I may come back, but I just need time away, you know, to reflect and stuff. She was just using it to like leave the platform. But I believe that she was genuine. I believe she could have just left the platform with her last video, like doing something for her dogs. You know what I mean? But for Shane Dawson, who was in the biggest scandal of his entire career, like everything, he's bringing Jenna into this and saying that he saw that video and he wanted to make his own version. I remember that I was so annoyed at that in the moment, and clearly it hasn't changed. If anything, I feel more defensive towards like Jenna Marbles nowadays. And I think it's because, hold on. And I'm already aware because I'm like talking about Jenna for a couple minutes now that the entire comment section is going to be about Jenna. And I do it, you know, like speak about her because, you know, there's not really many places on the internet to speak about Jenna Marbles anymore except maybe a couple Reddits. Jenna Marbles growing up was everything to me. It was Jenna Marbles and Colleen Ballinger. That, like, being honest with you, it was those two creators. And it just, I remember I found her when I was watching TV one day, and it was RudeTube. And her video, how to trick people into thinking you're good looking when you're not, or something. Me and my brother were watching it, and me and my brother thought it was the funniest shit ever. And I was so young. Like, the video was not appropriate for me. Like, even though I don't know, I haven't watched the video since then. But anyways, I started watching Jenna Marbles then, the same time I was watching Colleen Ballinger. But they were two very different entities. So I grew up with a huge parasocial relationship with Colleen Ballinger and grew up with one with Jenna Marbles. And I ended up becoming friends with Colleen Ballinger, whereas with Jenna Marbles, it was just fun. So a lot of people that I know will talk about, you know, comfort creators for them, nostalgia creators for them, creators that they watched from childhood. A lot of people say it about Shane or Jeffrey or Trisha. They can say it about problematic creators as a way of, you know, excusing their behavior. This normally happens with Trisha, where people will be like, yeah, I know she's done XYZ, but you know, I grew up watching her. And for me, the two creators I grew up with and that are nostalgic to me and remind me of my childhood are Colleen Ballinger and Jenna Marbles. However, Colleen Ballinger can go fuck herself. Like, that then changed, you know what I mean? Like, that was no longer like me having a parasocial relationship. That was me having a relationship. So Jenna Marbles is the only creator that from whenever I was the same age as watching Colleen, I was watching Jenna. I watched every single fucking video from that first time I started until Jenna left the platform. And you know what? I literally, there's not a week that goes by that I don't watch a Jenna Marbles video years after she left the platform. Whether it's videos from, you know, 2020 or 2019 or 2018, maybe it's the podcast with Julian. Like, for me, I just love her so much, and I get so defensive towards her, and I think it genuinely boils down to, like, because she is that only creator that I watch from a child, you know, I feel a level of, and that's a parasocial, you know what I mean? But I am acknowledging that. So, like, whenever people use Jenna's vulnerability and honesty against, kind of in a way of, you know, defending themselves and getting them out of things, I'm like, you're nothing, you're stop. God, you know what video of Jenna's I really want to watch after this? The one where she's playing, like, the game, and she has, like, this big castle and stuff, and she's, like, showing her world. I love that one. I really love her so much, and I think when I see updates on her, about her on social media or from Julian, I get so happy that knowing that she's, you know, living a life she wants to live now, and yeah, she really was there's videos I watch of Jenna and they remind me of time periods I was at in my life. Or sorry, I know we're talking about fucking Shane, but clearly I'd rather talk about Jenna. There are videos that I will watch that will remind me of who I watched them with, you know, how I was feeling when I watched them, you know, what house I lived in when I watched them, or I remember I used to secretly watch like her videos in school as well during German class because we had iPads in school. Bad idea. Like the school like gave them to us, but whatever. And I remember I would put my headphones in the iPad and put the wire all up my sleeve because we wore blazers, and I would go like this, or sorry, like more like this, and I would have the earphone in my ear, and I would literally be watching her videos while our German teacher would be like, go to next page on our, online textbook. God, I used to do that often. I used to do that fucking often. Well, this is obviously the reason I failed maths class. Is it maths or math? One of them is an American way. How do you say math? Well, I'm going to have to say in UK. Maths is the preferred term. I don't think I ever said math. Math? Sounds like moth. Anyway, I remember in maths class, I used to do that as well. And, fucking maths teacher. I hated her. Hated her. She did. I tried so hard in maths class, and she loved that I didn't understand it. And then at a certain stage, I was like, go fuck yourself. And I just chinned out. And I would fucking earphone. I would just be listening to fucking podcasts. I would be listening to the Jenna and Julian podcast. Ultimately, I ended up failing maths class. I got a U. Do you know what that is? Ungradable. Literally in my GCSE exams, like your end of school exams, I got ungradable in maths. Now, in my defense, I also gave up halfway through the paper and just started doodling. Now, this was a really important exam out of frustration. But look, I don't fucking need maths. I have a calculator on my phone. I can count to maybe 100. Stay in school, but it's not the be-all, end-all. Not the be-all, end-all. You know how many fucking teachers... Why am I going on this rant? You know how many fucking teachers told me that if I didn't get a fucking A or I didn't even pass my science exams that I would get nowhere in life? My French teacher... Oh, that bitch. Ooh. God, so many repressed memories are coming up right now. My friend... I've told this story online before. My French teacher... I did really bad in exams, even if I tried. And if I had studied, it would all go in the moment. And verbal exams, I was really bad at. And we had our GCSE, so our final school exam of you leave school after this and you can go to like college and stuff. Clearly I went to media college for a reason. But anyways, you had to go in and do a speaking exam in French where she would ask random questions, and out of maybe 100 that were pre-prepared, but she would mix them up and kind of try throw you off. That's the full thing to see how fluent you are in French. I knew word for word every single response in French because I loved French. My French teacher did not like me. Actually did not like me. Sometimes, I loved so many of my teachers and so many of my teachers loved me. Just some teachers, don't click with you, and that's fine. But I love telling this story because I have a point with it. Sorry, I know I'm going on a rant. I guess I'm just in a fucking mood of wanting to talk. This is what happens when I don't film in a couple days. So anyways, she was the one doing the exam. It gets recorded and she does it, whatever. Before we went into the room, she shouldn't have done this actually, but you got to choose a sheet before you went in, I think, or something like that, where you knew the questions, or maybe she gave you it so you got to prepare it. Whatever it was, I went into this knowing what questions or what topics I think it was she was going to ask me, right? I get in there. She hits record. What does she do? She flips the page and does the one that we didn't agree on. Now, that fucking tape is recording, so this is the exam. She asked me the first question. I blank. Cannot get words out because I'm so upset and frustrated that I've been thrown off. I couldn't have even said, je m'appelle Adam. Or fucking we. You know what I mean? I couldn't have said any of that in that moment. I start sob crying. What does she do? She just keeps repeating the question and then sits in silence, lets the tape go the entire time while I'm sitting there in fucking non-verbal silence. And so she ends up going she undoes it, whatever. And she just goes to me, she goes, awful. Awful. I always used to talk about the fact that I always wanted to go to France. And she was, or Paris, sorry. And she was like, you think you'll ever go to Paris with that attitude? You think you'll ever survive in Paris with that attitude? Went on this like full fucking, whatever the fucking bitch said. Bitch, I've looked her up on social media. I go to Paris more than her. And what's so ironic about all this is I actually go to Paris for work. Not only do I go to Paris and vlog and stuff like that, which you can say is work, but I literally go to Paris because I get invited to events now. So, I honestly forget her. Oh, no, I don't. I was going to say I forget her name, but it just popped into my head. To have that attitude towards a child and to like treat them and be so condescending like that, you never know where that child's going to go or what they're going to do or whatever. I could, like, there have been so many times in my life where I've considered moving to Paris. Like, I just chose Brighton. Like, I love going to Paris and whatever. And I just think that, like, sometimes you can get people like this in your life that, like, really try to fucking, like, she really tried in that moment. And she was so, I was shattered when she told me that because I believed her. And it wasn't true. Like, that's not, so if you ever have, why am I preaching? If I actually something I like really get so passionate about, and I don't know why I'm gonna cry. I like don't know why I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, I don't. Fuck me, Jesus Christ. Let's get back to the Shane. Sorry, having Shane on the screen while I'm doing this is crazy. It really bothers me because there were so many moments in my academic life where I was told similar things or whatever, and whether those things haven't applied or I have done what the people said I wasn't going to do. Like, if there's anyone in your life, whether it's a partner, a friend, a teacher, employer, or whatever, that is doing these things to you, like, and you start to, you know, internalize it and like that, it doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be true. Anyway, let's get back to this video. Sorry. Anyway, I love Jenna Marbles, and it really bothers me that he brings her up.
Me, and felt like a sign from the universe that
it felt like a sign from the universe that Jenna Marbles made that video. Okay, I've already went on too long of a ramble, so we're just gonna.
So this video is coming from a place of just wanting to own up to my shit, wanting to own
But you said that this video came because it was a sign from Jenna Marbles. What is it?
up to everything I've done on the internet that has hurt people, that has added to a problem, that has not been handled well. Like, I should have been punished for things. I feel like this moment right now is very necessary. I'm going to apologize for a lot of things that I've done or said in this video, and if you don't accept the apology, that is 100% okay. And I think that's something that as I'm getting older now, I'm realizing. It's like, you can apologize, but you can't expect the other person to just forgive you. Like, that's doesn't make any sense. So I think this video for me is more about just saying everything I want to say and ways that I want to help be a part of a change and not be a part of a problem, which is what I've been a part of. So I'm going to start with all the racism that I put onto the internet as an adult, not a child.
No, I think it's important him saying adult rather than a child, because I think that so many creators like to push blame on how young they were. But again, if you're like over the age of 18, you know, making that content, like you know right and wrong. Anyways, I think that point that he brought up about not everyone needs to accept my apology, you know, blah 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 blah. It's very true. It's very true. And I think specifically when it comes to, I was gonna say specifically when it comes to creators, I'm trying to keep a limit on my yapping because I've already went over the yap limit on this video. I've been yapping all video. So I apologize for that. Anyways, I think that I apply this with people in my life or whatever. I have gone through, I'll keep the yapping to a minimum. I've gone through fallouts with friends where they've done things that I haven't agreed with, or they've done things that I didn't like or whatever. I'm not talking about racism, by the way. I'm talking about like petty things within friend groups. And the way I forgive them and trust them again is like over time building up a trust and seeing if they act different or whatever. So that's what's also applied to creators here, where it's like you can say you're sorry and not everyone has to accept it. Yeah, that's exactly true. The only way is if over time people feel that you are a different person, and, you know, that takes time.
I was at least.
And most creators aren't willing to like go through that waiting period, which is why they either don't address it or address it and delete the video.
When I started YouTube, and I made the decision to play stereotypes of black people or Asian people or Mexicans or pretty much every race. I made that decision. I said, oh, this is funny, and I put it on the internet. Now, years later.
It's so scary to me that he was like the same age as me when he was making all those skits. God. Like, when you're 21, yeah, you're still young. Do I feel young? Actually, not today, because I went on a crazy 3-hour run. My body's killing me. But anyways, 21, I can acknowledge that, you know, I'm young. And that's the same as what Shane was when he made all those skits. However, when you're 21, you have lived so much. Like, you have lived 21 years. 21 years. You know what is and isn't appropriate. And it's not about the time, because that is content you're actively making that you find enjoyable. So if anything, you're feeding into the time. Not everyone was doing that. That's not true at all.
I look back at that, and I've talked about this before, but when I say I hate that person, I mean it in the most intense way possible. I hate that person so much. That person.
If you think he's talking about a different person here, no, he's talking about himself. That person, he's currently just addressing himself. So glad he did this. Love when creators do this.
Was filled with sadness, filled with anger about their own issues, in the closet, constantly projecting on others, just like, I don't know, just that person is someone who I don't like seeing. And I think that's why I've been avoiding this, because I'm like,
that person is the one I'm currently watching. Like, you can't pass responsibility off. You have to. Anyway.
I already apologize. I don't want to go back. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it. Mute it on Twitter. Untag it on my Instagram. Like, I just don't. I hate that person so fucking much. Okay, so sorry.
Who is that person? Quick.
First, let's start with blackface. Blackface was something that I did a lot. Like, I did it a lot on my channel. And there's no excuse for it. There's literally no excuse. I made a video 6 years ago talking about it, and I gave excuses, and I knew it was wrong, and I knew I would never wanted to do it again, but I didn't do the work. I didn't actually look into the history of it and why it's so wrong and why people were so upset. Because my excuse, I was just being funny. I love black people. I'm not racist. I was trying to be funny. Like, all of that is stupid and wrong. And I put that onto the internet as an adult. And that is insane. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to anybody that saw that and that also saw that people were lifting me.
Just remembered something. My old 2020 drama channel brain is coming back to me here. Shane Dawson actually had most, if not all, of these videos on his YouTube channel right up until this video. I just remembered that. He ended up deleting one of his channel's content entirely, like right before this video. He was scrubbing the internet of the content for a good month. And ultimately, people kept reposting it, which is why he ended up having to make this video. But I completely forgot about the fact that he was actually actively deleting the videos right before he made this video. But they were on his channels, and he was making money off of all the things that, you know, he's saying is so bad. Right up until this video of June 2020, he was making money off of all the things that he's saying is, you know, so that version of me.
Up, and we're saying, you're so funny, Shane. Oh my God, you're so funny. Like, I can't even put myself in that head. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be black and to see this white fucking guy do blackface. And
I mean, content like that lived on your channel up until, you know, recent. So it's like,
whole internet at that time being like, LOL, that's insane. And I am so sorry. I don't know how to even...
He's also passing responsibility off here. He's saying, like, I can't believe, like, you would have to experience the entire internet enjoying racism. That wasn't the entire internet. That was the audience that you harbored. So many people were introduced to racist content, racist jokes, racist ideologies because of you, Shane Dawson. You ended up building a community then of people that enjoyed racist content. That wasn't just the internet.
Fully apologize, because it seems like something that is irredeemable, or I don't know the right word, but it's something that I shouldn't even be able to get out of. I should lose everything for that. I can tell you this, I don't have hate for any race or any people with weight issues or any of that special needs. I don't have hate in my heart for anyone, but it doesn't make up for the fact that I made jokes about everyone. And some of the jokes were way too far. And I think this year specifically really changed me as a person, and I started seeing black people who I know, who I'm friends with.
It's the same ideology with Jeffrey's video. These creators are in their apology videos saying, they're making reference to Black Lives Matter and saying, I woke up. I realized that I was the problem. But you didn't for the 20 years you were doing the content, and then the following years that you just left it on your channel and profited off of it. It took you witnessing black people in America being murdered every day, you know, going to prison wrongfully. It took all of that for you to realize, oh, damn, I shouldn't have made that video. Is that not a built-in thing already?
Who I've known for a long time. I'm seeing them openly talking about on their Instagram or Twitter the years of anger they've had about racist jokes, about blackface, about...
But also, this doesn't really apply because Shane Dawson had black friends on his YouTube channel, and he was a part of a community that would rather have watched Shane Dawson as a white man make fun of a black woman than the black woman he was friends with. And that was a community he harbored. And he's aware of that.
You know,
he also made content with black women in which he was being racist. Like,
everything that they've gone through. And I felt like the biggest piece of shit in the entire world. I felt awful. And the biggest problem with me doing that and posting it on the internet was it made young people at the time who were watching me think it was okay. And that's the craziest part. It's like I've had people tell me, well, I used to watch your videos when I was a kid, and yeah, I never saw anything wrong with that. And that is scary because it made me realize, oh my God, I have been a part of such a huge problem and I have just been avoiding it. And that's wrong. So I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I added to the normalization of blackface or the normalization of saying the N-word. That's another thing. I mean, and my justification at the time for that was, oh, well, it was, you know, I was playing a character and it was in comedy and my black friend was there and, you know, that makes it okay. No, it's not okay. And it's not a funny word, especially for a white person to say. Me as a white person wearing a wig and playing a character and doing stereotypes and then saying the N-word is something that I should have probably lost my career for at the time. And there's no amount of apologizing that can take it away and take away the impact it had and take away the amount of people that have been hurt by that or have felt like I was just, oh, another white guy who can get away with everything. When I really looked into the history.
But that's what he is.
I looked into it years ago, and it obviously disgusted me, made me sick. I felt awful. But even at that time, I still was being ignorant, and I was saying in my head, well, but I didn't do that. You know, I was playing Wendy Williams, or I was playing a character. That justification, that is wrong. I mean, I've watched so many videos on the history of blackface and how it was created to make fun of black people, to make them feel less than. And the fact that I, in some way, was a part of that, like the fact that the word blackface now will forever be attached.
In some way, you just said that you brought up a generation of normalizing this.
That's the level at which I have been lately. Just feeling very awful about myself, about what I did, about the jokes I've made, about the videos I've made. I'm wanting to disassociate from that person, but I can't. Now, there was one person who really tried to get through to me for a long time, and her name is Jessica Lee. And probably 7 years ago, she's a YouTuber, and she tweeted me, and we got into fights back and forth, and my audience at the time was saying racist things to her, and it was so toxic, and I'm so sorry, and it's so gross, and there's no amount of apologizing for it. And I think I was taking everything as an attack, which is so stupid. Like, looking back, that is stupid. I was taking it as an attack. Like, I'm not racist, leave me alone, I'm not racist. And, you know, it's like, okay, but look what you're making, Shane. Like that, I don't know how I didn't see that. That is scary, and I'm sorry. But one of my biggest problems was thinking that criticism is being attacked. Somebody's telling me that I did something wrong, I'm gonna go on the defensive. And that's not.
He also didn't see it as doing anything wrong because he was making shitloads of money about it. You know what I mean?
A good way to live, and it's not a good way to grow and change and actually help people. So, speaking of Francesca, there is something on Twitter right now that people are sharing, and I got a text about it today, and my heart completely broke. And it was from my podcast from 5 years ago. Now, in the clip, I am talking about, the segment was about murder fantasies. Like, oh, is there somebody that you really hate or you're mad at? And, you know, have you ever fantasized about murdering them? And how would you do it?
Where are we going?
Stupid, gross, awful, something I would never talk about now. That podcast is a source of so much awful shit for me, so many regrets for me. And I loved a lot of those moments, but a lot of them were like, what do we do to make it crazier? How do we make things more insane? Oh, how do we make it more shocking? Like Howard Stern. Like, it just got to a point where I'm happy it ended because I wasn't even myself. I don't even know who I was at that point. Anyways, so
The other person.
I started talking about, figuratively murdering someone. And it was insane and gross. Now, she believes, and a lot of people believe, that I was talking about her. And I can say, if I had a Bible, I would put my hand on it. I can say, without a doubt, hand on a Bible, that was not about Francesca Lee. That was about another woman. Not that it makes it okay, because it doesn't. Talking about anybody like that is crazy, especially a woman. But it was about a white woman. And the ironic part is that woman was just trying to get through to me too. Like, she was just trying to explain to me why what I was making on the internet was hurting people. It was at a time when I was...
Jesus Christ.
I was constantly on the defensive. I felt attacked all the time, which is stupid. I shouldn't have felt like that. And it got so bad that, I don't know, it almost made me want to make the jokes crazier. To make everything crazier, almost like as a, screw you, I'm just gonna make it great.
So he makes racist content, gets called out for being racist, and he goes, fuck you, I'm gonna be even more racist. What do you mean?
Crazier. And that's one reason it's hard for me to watch that movie, because I would never...
Is he talking about Not Cool?
Ever.
Did anyone watch that?
There were so many offensive jokes in it that were so cheap and shitty and stupid. And there was a woman involved who was constantly giving me criticism and telling me that I needed to stop making so many offensive jokes. And the reason I was so upset wasn't just because of that. There's so many other reasons. I mean, this person really tried to, I don't know, there was a lot. They tried to ruin my relationship. It was a lot. I had a lot of anger for this person. So that anger is gone, by the way. It's all gone. And I'm so sorry to her. And I'm sorry to Francesca. And I should have never talked about anybody like that ever. And that's the other thing. The podcast, I mean, there's so many clips that people are bringing up. So there's a clip that has been going around again. A few years ago is when it came out.
God, I never know what he's going to say because there's so many fucking clips from that podcast that are awful. When he goes, there's a clip going around that I'm like, what are you going to say?
And they cut out all the parts where I said, pedophilia is disgusting. And they put it together, and it made it seem like I was, talking about how it's normal. So gross. I would never say that. But also, I shouldn't have been joking about it anyways, which is my problem, my fault. So I'm sorry if you heard that. There's also other ones too. I mean, and that's something I have addressed before, but my childhood, my past...
That's something I have addressed before, but you just said at the start of the video that any apology video you made was out of fear rather than like actually caring about it. So
I've had a lot of pain. I've had a lot of bad things happen to me. I've had a lot of issues with my family. And I took that pain and I turned it into jokes. And I think instead of joking about them so much, I probably should have just went to therapy earlier and talked about them. I swear on my life, I am not somebody who would ever talk about a child, like in seriousness. I would never talk about a child in any way that was inappropriate. That is disgusting. That is gross. It is not something I would ever do. It is something I did for shock value or because I...
Okay, so you did. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, you just said, oh, I did it because... Stop after because.
It was funny, or like, oh my god, my child molester character, or whatever. It's all gross. And I promise that is not real. That is not me. Have I done sketches where kids were saying crazy things? Yes. Do I regret it? Yes. Even I saw a vlog clip of me and my cousin who was, I don't know, probably 12 or 13 at the time. And we were...
You mean the one of you and Lisa, your ex-girlfriend, describing like fucking sex to your like 12-year-old niece or something like that?
I was doing the birds and the bees talk. Dumb, gross shit. And I remember a few years ago, I reached out to her mom, my aunt, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I can't believe I did this. Like, this is insane. I can't believe I talked to, my cousin like that. And, she was like, oh my God, we know. It's okay. It was funny. Like, we all thought it was funny. Like, that's just how our family is. So I kind of took that as like, okay, well, then I don't need to apologize for it. But I do, because I posted it on the internet for everyone. Not just my family. I posted like a stupid, weird...
Family reunions must be crazy if that's all your type of humor together.
Family moment for everyone. I'm so sorry that I just was so thoughtless with things I was posting for so many years. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I thought, oh, I'm in a weird category where I can say whatever I want. And I did.
As a privileged white man.
The biggest regret of my entire life. All of it. Now, even though my apologies in the past for all of these things have not been good enough, they've not been thought out, they've been very fear-based, they've been not good at all. I do want to say, since I've apologized for those things in the past, I have made a lot of changes in my life, changes in just every facet of me has changed. I'm not just saying it, I'm not just saying, oh, I'm going to stop doing that, guys. I did stop doing that. I stopped doing that stuff years ago. I don't use any racial slurs in my life. I've never used a racial slur in anger ever in my life. That is not me. That has never been me. I am not a hateful person. I am somebody who took jokes too far and was really, really, really stupid and inappropriate. So all of those apologies, if you accept them, thank you. If you don't, I 100% understand because there was a lot. And a lot of that is stuff that you probably will never...
This is really weird because he's like, if you accepted all those apologies, thank you. And if you don't, I understand. But he said that those apologies were all bad and basically meaningless because they were out of fear. So why would anyone accept those? Specifically, ones that are about racism or pedophilia or anything like that.
Forgive me for. And maybe you didn't know about all those old videos. I 100% understand. I'm willing to lose everything. At this point, realizing how many people I've hurt or how many people I've inspired to say awful things.
Which ultimately, creators say this all the time, where they'll be like, I'm willing to lose everything, blah, 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 blah. But then they post a new video a week later. They have a sponsorship up by Monday, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Or do anything awful, like to finally just own up to all of this and be accountable is worth losing everything to me. And I am not saying that as like a lie or for sympathy. I'm being honest. I want to spend the rest of my life doing things that I love with my heart, that I'm excited about, and things that aren't hurting anyone, aren't offending anyone. And I want to learn more. And I don't want to be someone who's afraid of my past. So thank you for hearing me out on all of those issues. I promise I'm going to do better to even more so educate myself, put more people on my channel that aren't just white YouTubers in trouble. Like that, I'm totally aware of how that...
Now he brings on Ryland! Yippee! Yippee! His white brother! Yippee! the most diverse YouTube channel of all time.
Somebody pointed that out to me a couple years ago, and I got really defensive over it. And now I'm looking back going, no, they're right. They're right. If you look at my channel, it's a bunch of white people and talking about their problems. And I love a lot of those videos, and I'm so proud of those videos. But you're right. I need to open up what I'm doing for everyone. So last week, I went on Twitter, and it had been about 2 weeks of me getting people constantly saying, address it, address it, address it, talking about the James and Tati situation. I was just going to ignore it.
Oh my God, I didn't know he brought it up as well. I was surprised when Jeffrey brought it up. Oh my goodness.
And then when I started hearing, oh, Shane mastermind, the whole thing, it didn't sit well with me because it's not true. So when I finally addressed it, I wrote this Twitter note, which was such a mistake. I wrote it in...
Oh my God, welcome to the circus. Do you want me to read that? We'll read it.
For the conspiracy collection. And I woke up and I felt really weird. Like, we had been pushing the restock for so long that we finally had to do it. And when I woke up and it was out, I just felt so weird. I felt so guilty. I didn't want to I couldn't enjoy it. I didn't want to enjoy this restock when there's something that I haven't addressed that people are really, really upset at me for it. So I sat down and I wrote that essay, which I wrote it...
Welcome to the circus.
Across that way, it came across very angry, which it was, but it was also supposed to be funny. It just was...
He goes, it was supposed to be funny and everyone thought it was angry. It was, but like, what?
Huge miss in every single way. So the part of the Twitter note that I regret more than anything in my life was the part where I said...
Humble pie size of the Empire State Building.
James deserved a slice of humble pie the size of the Empire State Building. I only want to talk about this situation with love because I feel like that note had so much anger in it. It was just...
But I thought it was filled with funny giggles and laughter instead of anger.
And so I'm going to come at this situation by first apologizing. I'm sorry, James.
Oh my God, James got an apology from both Shane and Jeffrey in these last two videos. And Tati's breaking my silence. He had everyone by the balls.
Sorry. First of all, nobody...
Now the only people he has by the... I'm not going to make that.
The whole internet ganging up on someone. Nobody deserved that. And who am I to say that somebody needs to be humbled? Me. Like, who am I to say that? I literally have put so much hate onto the internet over my last 15 years of YouTube world. Like, I have put so much shit, and I'm sitting here like, well, because I changed and because I'm nice and this and that, like, yeah, you need to be humbled. It's like, that sucks. I hate that. That was so immature and gross, and I'm so sorry. And I know a lot of people were saying that, well, why did you say you're leaving the beauty community? You were never in it. And you're right. I don't know why I said that. That was stupid. I was never in the beauty world because a lot of the beauty people that I watch, and I'm not just saying that, I think a lot of people think I'm lying when I say I really love the makeup world and I'm really invested in it.
It's crazy how you just dropped it after you made the money though, right?
I'm not lying. For the last year, I've been watching beauty channels every day. My whole homepage is just beauty channels and it's smaller ones. So to know that I hurt those people who aren't problematic and who just love makeup and who have been working their ass off for years, for me to shit on that, I am so sorry. Also, I'm aware of how hypocritical it is for me.
Shitted on him.
Above this tea and drama channels and drama, and I'm not like that, and that is so stupid. It's so dumb. At that moment, I was so upset with certain things. It was just me being upset. And it is hypocritical. I mean, I watch drama videos, but when it's about me, oh, now it's a problem. Like,
hey!
How hypocritical that is, and I'm so sorry. This is a huge one. I'm aware that I hold my friends or people I care about to a lower standard than I hold other people. That's wrong, and I'm so sorry. I think I get attached to people who have a heart, and maybe it's covered in a lot of stuff.
Because he's an empath.
I almost feel like I am attracted to other broken people who have issues and I want to help them, I want to fix them, or I want to help people see a better side of them. And I'm aware that I'm friends with some people that...
My God, Tati said the same thing as well. She likes to help people, fix people. Oh my God, y'all need to focus on yourselves.
I've done some bad things on the internet and I don't condone it and I don't co-sign it. And that is...
It's so interesting. He's like, some of my friends have done things I don't, co-sign. And then Jeffrey was like, I don't agree with Shane's whole behavior and he doesn't agree with mine. I love that they both addressed each other very loosely.
Something that I've always addressed with them privately. I'm ready to own up to this stuff, and I'm ready to hopefully show you guys that it's okay to admit when you're wrong.
Wait, wasn't Shane's comeback video after this a video in which he made so many jokes about being cancelled? He was like, we apologize. Yes, we do. We get cancelled. Yes, we do. So he came back and made fun of it because he took like a year off and came back and literally his first video was making fun of it.
It's okay to be past self for making mistakes, but also it's okay if people don't want to accept your apology or if people don't want to support you anymore. That's okay too. And I understand. If you watching this video right now feel that way, please, like, I don't ever want you to feel like I'm forcing you to forgive me. That is not what I want to do. And I promise that I'm going to show you through my actions. And I promise that whatever I do next will be putting good into the world. And it won't be putting hate or drama or anything negative. And I'm going to stick by that. So thank you for watching this. If you watched the whole thing, thank you so much. And I hope that you learned some lessons from me, especially if you're young. I hope you learned a lot of lessons from everything that I have done, put out into the world, mistakes I've made.
Just because we're young doesn't mean that we're racist. Gonna be honest with you, or make pedophilic jokes. I'm gonna be honest with you, babe. All right, I'm just looking on his channel really quickly from when he posted this video. Where was it? Taking accountability, and then the video was the haunting of Shane Dawson, which was the comeback, and the entire start of the video is him making jokes about being cancelled. Wait.
I don't know how to do this. I have a say. But we'll get to that. Yeah. I didn't read it. But we'll get to that. Okay, hold on. My drink is right here. What else do I need? Oh my god. So, this is a sign in my new house. This was here when we went to the open house, and I loved it, but I never actually read it. I didn't read it, and then, like, after we moved in, I saw PewDiePie made a video making fun of it. I'm sorry. Like, oh. It's just so cheesy, but it's cute, right? In this house, we laugh a lot, we count our blessings, see, I can't even get through it, but it's really cute.
I still don't like it.
We say, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. Don't worry, I'll get to that.
Oh gosh.
We make mistakes. Yes, we do. I'll get to that. We forgive quickly. How about you get to that? Okay, now you.
So anyway, his comeback video was literally making fun of it. He took a year off and he came back and his first thing was making fun of it. Yawn. Yawn. Anyways, let me know your opinion of that. I want to go watch a Jenna Marbles video after this. You gonna join me? I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.